Let's talk about this. We did. Good talk.
After the massive success of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, all eyes are now on its highly anticipated follow-up, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. The third chapter in Sony's animated Spider-Verse trilogy is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious superhero films ever made because it'll continue Miles Morales' journey across the multiverse as he faces the chaos unleashed by the Spot. Unlike the countless retellings of Peter Parker's origin, this series dares to explore something new, a story about a younger Spider-Man who's carving out his own identity, facing impossible odds, and connecting with alternate versions of himself along the way. It all started back in 2018 with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the Oscar-winning film that introduces audiences to Miles Morales, a kid from Brooklyn who suddenly found himself stepping into the shoes of Spider-Man. What made it stand out wasn't just its stunning animation or comic book-inspired visuals, but how it told a heartfelt coming-of-age story that connected with fans of all ages. It celebrated diversity, family, and the idea that anyone can wear the mask. Add in a killer hip-hop soundtrack, sharp writing, and a star-studded voice cast, and it's no surprise the film became an instant classic. Then came Across the Spider-Verse, which took everything fans loved about the first movie and expanded it tenfold. It built out the multiverse, introduced dozens of spider people, and pushed Miles into deeper emotional territory. Even though superhero multiverses have become pretty common lately, the Spider-Verse movies still feel unique because of their artistry and sheer heart. Every frame feels handcrafted, and every scene carries emotional weight. But while Beyond the Spider-Verse won't necessarily end Miles' larger story forever, it will mark the conclusion of this particular trilogy, and fans are expecting an ending that's as powerful as the journey itself. So, what's the latest news? After years of speculation, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse finally has a confirmed release date. At CinemaCon 2025, Sony officially announced that the movie will swing into theaters on June 18, 2027. That means fans will have waited nearly 5 years since Across the Spider-Verse and almost 9 years since Into the Spider-Verse. It's been a long wait, but given how Across the Spider-Verse ended on such a major cliffhanger, the excitement hasn't died down one bit. During the CinemaCon presentation, Sony also shared a short clip along with a sneak peek posted by producer Christopher Miller. The footage apparently focused on the alternate version of Miles, the one from Earth-42 who became the Prowler instead of Spider-Man. It's a fascinating direction because it picks up right where the last film left off, with Miles coming face-to-face with his darker counterpart. The visuals reportedly look as breathtaking as ever, filled with that same vibrant, comic-style energy that made the series famous. Of course, this 2027 release date didn't come easy. When Across the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse were first announced in 2021, both movies were planned as a two-part story. The third installment was originally titled Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 and was scheduled for March 2024. But production delays and creative refinements caused Sony to remove it from their release slate in 2023. It took nearly 2 years before we finally got confirmation that Beyond the Spider-Verse was back on track. That long production time actually makes sense though. These movies take a tremendous amount of work. Each frame is loaded with detail, color, and visual storytelling that pushes the boundaries of animation. The filmmakers want to make sure the trilogy's finale lives up to the impossibly high bar set by its predecessors. If Into the Spider-Verse was about finding your identity, and Across the Spider-Verse was about defying destiny, then Beyond the Spider-Verse needs to bring everything full circle, giving fans closure while still leaving room for the Spider-Verse to keep growing. Behind the scenes, much of the creative team remains the same, which is a great sign. Justin K. Thompson, who co-directed Across the Spider-Verse and worked as production designer on the first film, will return to direct alongside Bob Pereschetti, one of the original directors of Into the Spider-Verse. Writing duties are once again handled by the powerhouse duo Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, teaming up with the Shang-Chi director David Callaham. Together, they've proven time and again that they know how to balance humor, emotion, and action in ways that appeal to both kids and adults. Lord and Miller revealed a while back that they had too many ideas to fit into one movie, which is why they decided to split Across the Spider-Verse into 2 parts. This approach lets them explore every emotional thread and multiversal consequence without rushing the ending. Meanwhile, familiar producers like Amy Pascal, Avi Arad, and Christina Steinberg are back as well, the same people who have helped shape Spider-Man's cinematic legacy for decades. As for the cast, Beyond the Spider-Verse will reunite most of the familiar voices fans have come to love. Shameik Moore will once again voice Miles Morales, with Hailee Steinfeld returning as Gwen Stacy, the emotionally grounded Spider-Woman whose relationship with Miles lies at the heart of the story. Jake Johnson is back as Peter B. Parker, now a dad trying to balance hero life and parenting. And of course, we'll see more of Oscar Isaac's brooding Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, Jason Schwartzman's unpredictable Spot, and Mahershala Ali's alternate Aaron Davis as the Prowler. Other fan favorites like Daniel Kaluuya's Spider-Punk, Karan Sony's Pavitr Prabhakar, Kimiko Glenn's Penny Parker, Nicolas Cage's Noir Spider-Man, and John Mulaney's Spider-Ham are expected to return too. Given how Across the Spider-Verse ended, it's likely we'll see Gwen's new team of Spider-People play a huge role in rescuing Miles. And because this is a multiverse story, there's always the chance for surprise cameos, including perhaps Tom Holland's Peter Parker, which would be the crossover of a lifetime if it happens. Plot details are still tightly under wraps, but the editing of Across the Spider-Verse gives us a good idea of where things are headed. When we last saw Miles, he had escaped the Spider Society and accidentally landed in Earth 42, a world without a Spider-Man, where his alternate self became the Prowler. At the same time, Gwen gathered her own team to find and rescue him, setting up an emotional and action-packed reunion. Based on early concept art and unused footage, it seems that the Prowler version of Miles might not be entirely villainous. Instead, he could be more of a vigilante trying to survive in a broken world. That opens the door for an uneasy alliance between the two versions of Miles, which could make for one of the trilogy's most powerful storylines. Meanwhile, the main villains, the Spot and Miguel O'Hara, will continue to add tension from opposite sides. The Spot is evolving into something far more dangerous, a being capable of traveling through dimensions and unraveling the very fabric of the multiverse. Miguel, on the other hand, is still obsessed with maintaining canon events, believing that certain tragedies must happen in every Spider-Man's life to keep reality stable. Miles' refusal to accept that fate, especially when it comes to saving his father, sets him apart from every Spider-Man before him. It's a classic hero's conflict, choosing between destiny and defiance, between the greater good and personal loss. Even some of the voice actors have teased just how emotional the film's finale will be. Shameik Moore promised that fans can expect action-packed energy and some dilemmas and problems to solve, while Brian Tyree Henry, who voices Miles' dad Jefferson Davis, hinted that there won't be a dry eye in the house. That suggests Beyond the Spider-Verse will not only deliver epic battles and jaw-dropping visuals, but also a deeply personal resolution to Miles' story. Still, even though this film is being billed as the end of Miles Morales' animated trilogy, it's not necessarily the end of the Spider-Verse altogether. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller have confirmed that Beyond the Spider-Verse will close out this three-part story, but the franchise's world is far from finished. Sony already released The Spider Within, a Spider-Verse story, a short film exploring Miles' mental health and personal struggles, and there are more projects in the pipeline, including Spider-Woman and Spider-Man Octopus Girl. So, when June 18th, 2027 finally comes around, fans can expect not just another superhero movie, but a true event. A film that closes one chapter of the Spider-Verse while opening a door to endless possibilities. And that's that for today's video, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.